and today is Title Tuesday. We'll be combining that with our regular sketch from Christy's Beautiful Life. I am on day 7. I do realize that it is day 17, so I'm 10 days behind. Probably won't catch up, and I'm at peace with that. So we are using this fun sketch by Sarah Fletcher Thorne, and this is a 2-page layout. I did have to make some changes because how I printed my pictures. And I will be talking about printing pictures on my Epson ET-3850. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. These large pictures, so in her sketch, she used, I'm assuming, paper, but I used these large pictures. I printed them as an 8x8, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and do the title portion, since I always do Title Tuesday, and I'm going to talk about the title that I used. So this is just a canoe that I cut out with the Cricut, and I also cut out the title. Had I realized that my Stampin' Up! All-in-One inclusive alphabet is exactly this size. You can, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's exactly the same size. So if you don't have a Cricut, you could totally do this title with this, and so that is definitely an option. So on my title is my bucket list, and on my bucket list was a challenge. So last year when we went up to retreat, a couple of the girls got in canoes, and I was honestly I was too afraid to go. But I told them, I said, okay, next year I'll go. So it was the day of them having me go, and it was on my bucket list, but I was actually very afraid. So I have my friend right here. She's kind of our go-to person for all things boating, and this is my friend who does not let me back out of the things that I say. And so we had a great time, and then this picture is fun. It is so this is our mascot for the retreat. It was I barely survived. Scrapping on my old private Idaho was the theme of our retreat. So of course I had to have my stand-up bear standing by all the rules from Pilgrim Cove. So this just shows you that you can use pictures and then you don't have to do the title. I don't have to put Pilgrim Cove anywhere on here because it's already written on the rules, so I included that in the picture. And that's the nice thing about when you get larger pictures. It's so beautiful there. I wanted to use large pictures, and so that's why I changed the paper, the spot for the paper, to pictures. So the paper pack that I used was called Lake Life. And so I have 2 different types of titles. I have a title that I printed, and the nice thing about this is I will give you the design space file. This title probably isn't the one that you're going to use. You're going to use one that tells about your story and your layout, and that's why this is perfect, because you can personalize it to whatever you want. I thought it would be great fun. I could have put the title down farther, and I could have put journaling blocks in my boat. I could have foam dotted my boat up and slid journaling spots right in this 2 places, and then you could put the name of your lake. I have mine. This is Pilgrim Cove, so I know exactly where I'm at. But if you didn't have a picture like that, you could have your canoe and then put any the name of the lake that you're at. So you can personalize that. That's the thing about titles, is titles makes it so that you personalize your layout, and that way maybe you don't have to do quite so much journaling. So I'm going to show you. So there are a lot of pictures on this page. There are actually 4, 6, and these are kind of like bonus pictures. It was so beautiful that I wanted people to be able to see how pretty it is. So some of the pictures of the people are kind of small, but it also shows where we were at. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my journaling while I talk about the pictures that I printed. And I'm actually going to show you, And see how I split this? So this was a sticker sheet. I split it in half. I was so happy because I split it in half, and then it's perfect for that. So everything on here was called Lake Life. Lake Life was a paper pack. It was what we call a bridge product when we were coming over from Close to My Heart. Close to My Heart had paper packs that they had already created, and then we were able to sell them through Stampin' Up. So there's that. And I did want to show you how I switched this layout. I had to switch it, and the reason I had to switch it was when I printed these out. See how I'm looking this way? And it would have been very odd if I would have put this picture over here, because then maybe I could have done it. I mean, I could be sailing off to the sunset. So what I did was I switched it, and it's kind of like this a little bit. So then I put these two large pictures. You can see how she cut it in half. She cut this in half, and I really like that look. It helps it, I think it helps the page look more congruent. So when you put it like that and you slice it in half, and this was a perfect, because my picture was so large, this is an 8x8, it was easy for me to split it without cutting people in half. So I liked that. So I just put my circles, instead of here and here, I put them there and there, so I folded it closely. And then these, she had, I don't know if these were meant for pictures. I put pictures on them because I had a lot of pictures, and it's so beautiful up there. So I just rounded the corners. This is actually a 2.5 by 5 1/4. So, and I'll show you what I used to print these. It is an app. It's free through Epson if you have the Epson printer. Well, even if you don't have the Epson printer, you can use this app, I believe. And I had my friend check and see. She has an Android, so I know it's available for Androids. And I love being able to print pictures that are a variety of sizes. And so the paper that I use, I just buy it from, you can get it at Staples. I actually got mine, you're not going to be shocked, I actually got my paper from a garage sale. And these are my journaling strips. So I'm going to stick my journaling strips down. This was actually, the boat, everything else is Stampin' Up. It's Stampin' Up bridge product, except for this was from Cape Cod. I wanted the boat, I wanted my wood grain to match this, but if you are a Stampin' Up person, they have had lots of wood grains in the past, so you could very easily replicate this. So I'm going to, here's my 8. I just kind of need it so that I won't make my strips all crooked. I'll put that there. And I like making these type of strips. I think it adds to the design of the page. Oops, you don't want my hair in there. People in the future will be able to know it really was me that made this, because my hair DNA is on it. So I'm going to add this. The reason I like these strips is I tend to be I write way too big. And this way, I stay between the lines. I also write uphill, even when I talk. It's so funny. So, teaching, I would write on the board, and it was always way, it slant up. Okay, so then I just added a little bit of trees because I thought that was a little bit naked, and I had them in my stash. I'm getting to the place where a lot of times I will add extra little foofy things in there that I know I'm going to use later. So this is my completed layout. I stayed pretty true to the sketch, and you're probably wondering how I got these circles. I cut out a 7.25 circle on my Cricut. You don't have to have Design Space to, if you have a Cricut, you can go to Design Space. You don't have to have Access. It's a free cut. Just go to Shapes, and then just change it to a 7.25 if you're trying to do an 8x8. And the tricky part is you want, this picture was a perfect picture to make it large, when you're making a large picture, if you're making a circle, you want to make sure that you aren't, it needs, what you want to focus on needs to be kind of in the middle. I'll show you. So this is the leftover of my 8x8. And what I did was I just did a circle, I laid it down where I wanted it, and then I cut around it. So you can see that that's the part that I cut off. So let me show you the app that I used. And I will tell you that I get nothing from Epson. So first I bought an Epson 400, and it is great for small prints, but it isn't cheaper than going to Walgreens. This is cheaper than going to Walgreens. I purchased my Epson ET-3850 probably last year, and the machine has paid for itself twice, because printing pictures that are larger than 4x6 is expensive. It's right now, to get this, if I have $10 worth of pictures right here. If I would have stripped them off to Walgreens without a sale, I have $10 worth of pictures here. And all it cost me was a little bit of ink. The ET is it isn't a cartridge. You just add ink to it. I've had it for 2 years. I haven't added any ink at all. The colors are really good. I have another friend, she uses the one just under it, and she has great luck with that. I think it's a 2850. I bought mine at Costco. Right now, the machine that I used for these pictures is $298.99 at Costco. So, and I'm not telling you that because I get anything. I'm not getting anything out of that. I'm just saying this is the most inexpensive way to print your pictures. And I feel like the color's good. I can adjust them. So let me show you that app really quick. So the app is called Epson Creative Print. Just download it. There is an Android version, and there's an Android version, and there is a iPhone version. So I go to collage. So this is the different collages. I'll even show you the one that I chose. So I chose this one, and there are two pictures here that actually are these two. So this one prints an 8.5. Basically, it's 8.5. So your paper is 8.5 by 11. So this is an 8 by 8, and so these are 3 by 4 and a quarter. So, and this is how easy it is. I just push on my button. It takes me to the pictures that I have. Then I can go here, and I'm just going to I'll just go back here and I'll show you. Okay, I'm just gonna plop it in, and I'm going to select a picture. I'm going to select it, then I'm going to go to next. That's going to be my picture, and you can edit this. So I'm going to go on this one. The first thing I'm going to do is turn it around the right way. Okay, people have had their heads chopped off. I can do it this way. I can change the size of it, but I won't go into a lot of detail on that. So I just do that, and then I go to this next one, and I can go to let's see, this one, and I'm just picking random pictures, and then I'll put that, and that's how easy. And then you press next, and it prints. It is easy peasy, and probably the most inexpensive because it has a it has an echo tank. So like I said, I've had this for 2 years, and it has paid for itself in a short amount of time. And you could do there's I did that a little bit too quick. You can see all the different sizes. Cancel. You can see all the different sizes that you can print. You could print an 11 by, this one is an 11 by 8.5. So you could print a picture that large. You can print super small ones on these. So there are 12 pictures on this. So you can, so it's going to print them. Basically, they are about 2 inches by 3.5. And so you can do the smaller prints. And I just love the way it looks. And these two, let me see if I can find that one. Those pictures are actually, it's this one. This is what these pictures are from. So you can see you can have a variety of sizes. And if your layouts start looking all the same, I really highly recommend change up your sizes of your pictures, and it will give you a whole different look. And anyway, so that's what I have for Title Tuesday. So remember, Title Tuesday is you can take an object and you can just personalize it, and that's what we want to do with titles. You can always use a sticker for a title as well. I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you will continue on with Christy's Beautiful Life. Like I said, I am like 10 sketches behind, but they're always, these are free, beautiful sketches, and you can see what's great about it is if you don't have big pictures, you could look at day 7 and see everything everyone else has done, and it gives you a lot of ideas. And the benefit of me being behind is I get to look at everybody else's ideas, and because sometimes if I get stuck on a sketch, that's great. So anyway, happy Title Tuesday. I hope you will think about personalizing, finding ways to personalize titles to make your layouts your very own. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.